In the name of God. Refund at a shopping store.
Rosalie walked into the store with a bag in her hand. She did not feel happy because her new shirt was too small. She went to the counter and saw the clerk standing there. Rosalie took a deep breath and said, "Hello. I want to return this shirt, please." The clerk looked at her and asked, "Is there a problem with it?" Rosalie nodded and said, "Yes, it's too small." The clerk smiled and asked for the receipt. The clerk looked at the receipt and checked the shirt. Rosalie waited and tried to see what the clerk was doing. She listened carefully to hear what the clerk would say next. "Everything looks fine," the clerk said. Rosalie felt relieved and smiled. The store was busy, and she could hear many people talking. Some customers were looking at clothes, while others waited in line. The clerk checked the price tag on the shirt. He looked at the computer screen and typed something. Rosalie started to watch the other customers while she waited. A woman near her was buying a dress. A man was paying for a jacket. The store had many bright lights, and she could see different colors everywhere. Rosalie was happy she came early because the line was getting longer. The clerk turned back to Rosalie. "I will process your refund now," he said. "Your money will go back to your credit card." Rosalie was happy to hear that. "How long will it take?" she asked. "It may take a few days," the clerk explained. Rosalie nodded and waited for the next step. She was glad she could get her money back. The clerk asked, "Would you like to pay with store credit or get a full refund?" Rosalie thought for a moment. She did not want store credit. "I prefer a full refund," she said. "Okay," the clerk replied and continued the process. Another customer came to the counter and wanted to sell an old handbag. Rosalie watched as the clerk finished her refund first. "Would you like to buy another size?" the clerk asked. Rosalie shook her head. "No, thank you. I will look for something else later," she said. The clerk smiled and handed her a small receipt. "Here is your refund confirmation," he said. "You can use this if there are any issues." Rosalie took the receipt and put it in her bag. "Would you like your refund in cash or back to your credit card?" the clerk asked. "Back to my card, please," Rosalie replied. The clerk nodded and pressed a few buttons. "Your refund is now complete," he said. Rosalie smiled and thanked him. She was glad the process was easy. The store had a good return policy. The clerk looked at the screen again. "Your refund is for $20, he said. Rosalie nodded. She had used her credit card to buy the shirt, so the money would go back to her account. "If you have any issues, you can contact our bank," the clerk added. "Oh, of course," Rosalie said with a smile. She was happy with the service. Rosalie stepped aside to let another customer talk. She wanted to buy a new shirt later. She saw a nice dress and a beautiful jacket on the display. "I will come back next week or check online," she thought. She was happy the store had a fair return policy. As she left the store, Rosalie saw a cafe nearby. She wanted to buy a coffee but decided to go home instead. She was tired because she had walked a lot today. She checked her phone and saw a message from her friend. "Let's meet later," the message said. Rosalie smiled and sent a quick reply. Rosalie walked to the bus stop. "The weather was good for you," she said. She checked her bag again to make sure she had everything. "Don't forget to keep your refund receipt," she reminded herself. The bus arrived, and she got on. She sat near the window and looked outside. It was a good day. On the way home, Rosalie passed by an electronics shop. She saw a CD and a DVD sale. She used to have a CD player, but now she listened to music on her computer. She also saw a new cell phone model in the window. At home, she turned on the radio and made some tea. She looked through her camera and found some old pictures. Her camera still worked well. She wanted to upload some pictures to the internet later and visit a website. Rosalie took out her phone and checked some online stores. "Would you like to see new arrivals?" a website ad asked. She scrolled through the options but didn't buy anything. I need to do some price comparisons first, she thought. Some stores had discounts on shirts. She wanted to get the best deal. Shopping online was easy, but she liked going to stores too. Rosalie felt happy about her day. Even though she had to return the shirt, everything went smoothly. She enjoyed walking through the store and looking at different clothes. Now, she was at home, drinking tea and thinking about what she would do next week. She was satisfied with her refund experience. Rosalie checked her phone again and saw a message from her friend. They planned to meet later that evening. She smiled, feeling excited about spending time with her friend. She picked up her bag and made sure she had everything before heading out again.
Like and subscribe if you would like.